You hear that?
That could be your dick. This is Ivy.
And this is Gidget.
And you're listening to Slut Shame This. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Slut Shame This. This is Ivy LaBelle, and today we are sadly without Gidget again. She's not feeling well, so if you are listening, send her some healing vibes and wish her get well. In the meantime, though, I have a very good friend of mine. Her name is Kendall.
Kenny.
Kenny.
Hi.
Hi, Kenny.
How are you?
I am so happy you're doing this with me.
I am pretty happy too, and it's a really fun subject.
Oh,
not that they're all not fun.
Are we not? We're okay. We're not even going to get into that yet because once we get into it, it's going to be a nosedive. But tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself. They want to get to know you. Kendall and I have been friends since...
Oh, we were actually talking about that today.
2014?
Yeah,
15.
yeah.
15. And the first time we hung out, I taught her how to hair flip on the floor.
Bottomless mimosas, and then we were on the floor hair flipping. It was very fun.
I was like, so you get on your hands and knees and you shake your head around in an erotic fashion. And I remember one time after that, I was like, I really like this guy and he's not that into me. And she's like, has he seen your hair flip?
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Sounds simple enough, but it's a skill.
Kendall is kind of famous.
No.
She was on a reality show.
No. Many moons ago. It's very stupid. It was like the show that, your fans wrote you from, like, prison.
Wait.
They did.
Wait, the show wrote...
No. Like I'm saying, like, it's the kind of show that the fans are, like, usually watching it from jail.
Whoa. Why is that?
This is like a pawn shop reality show.
Was it Pawn Stars?
No. It was Barter Kings.
Barter Kings. She was on Barter Kings back in the day. But you are an exceptional stylist.
Thank you.
And she's a traveler. She cooks amazing vegan food.
I do. I'm really good cook.
She's an incredible cook.
I'm not even gonna be like, oh, thanks. No, I am.
Yeah, don't be humble because she brought over a vegan flauta to my house the other day, and I was like, one flauta is not enough.
One flauta. It was a long flauta. Okay.
Okay, but you know me, bitch.
What was it? It became a bed flauta.
I like them big. Speaking of, we're talking about dicks today.
Dicks.
Not
like asshole dicks.
Well,
there is an asshole attached.
I was just thinking that there's dicks that are really great for assholes. Specific. So we did an episode a few weeks ago on oral, specific, and it was meant to be about both.
Yeah.
For both,
just
pussies and dicks, and then we ended up just going on like a full pussy nosedive.
It deserved its own episode.
I feel like it really did because I feel like more girls know, or more people know how to suck dick than people know how to eat pussy. I think pussy's a little bit scarier. However, I think there's still ways to do it right and wrong, and I just kind of want to talk about dicks today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Kendall,
let's dick it up.
Do you have a favorite type of dick? Do you have a dick preference?
Not for my mouth, but if I'm like having sex with someone, then I want it to be like a little curved so that it's like...
Okay, you're a curve girl.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want it more like a banana pointing down or do you want a banana pointing up?
A banana pointing up.
Hey, that's the G-spot dick. I love an uncircumcised dick.
Okay. That's your fave.
The unsung heroes, the way nature intended.
Uncut, unsung hero.
I didn't have a lot of them before porn because America and everyone's circumcised. When I started porn, I started getting all this European dick. And it changed the game. There's something about where it makes less friction, which, yes, friction can feel really good, but it also creates a cushion and doesn't dry you out as fast. Because it's kind of like just in there, moving inside of itself and not creating the friction against your vagina. And so I could stay wet forever with an uncircumcised dick. And also they feel amazing in the butt. Okay. Also, since we're talking about blowjobs, I feel like they're really easy to pleasure because guys with foreskin are a little bit more sensitive and you kind of have like another thing to play with. Yeah. Another thing to play with. She needs her plaything. I like my playthings. Do you like uncircumcised?
I do. Yeah. I've only had like maybe 3, but they've all been choice.
Okay. So, in your experience, what is something that you can do orally to a guy that gets a really good reaction?
Playing with the balls too. Maybe a little finger in the butt.
Oh, okay. That escalated quickly. So, balls. So, are we sucking the balls?
Yeah.
Are we licking the balls?
Both.
Yeah. And I feel like personally,
but also some hand. At the same time, you need it all in one.
So you're jerking with one hand.
And
and then you're like sucking on balls. I feel like so powerful when I do that. I'm like, I own you. The second when you're jerking them off and you put your tongue on a ball and you look up at them, you see the look on their face. Putty. It's absolute putty. I'm like, you're mine for the next however long. The same way that women are different, our anatomy is different, and the way in which we want to be touched is very different. I think it also completely applies to other sex as well. And so even though in porno we see girls going, wah, 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 wah,
or like spitting on it,
like, wah. I mean, it's like for sure that there's a moment for that. Yeah. But I'm not going to like... goes
eyes watering.
I'm like my mascara is running within the first 30 seconds. It's like, oh, she's intense. So when I'm sucking a dick, I like to start off soft and sensual. Mm-hmm. I think the tease is always really important, whether it's male or female. I go down on both. I think that dicks deserve the same TLC that a pussy does. So I like to start off really slow, sensual, tease it, like
some shaft licking.
And
do the look up as you do it.
Look up.
Mm-hmm.
Eye contact.
I agree.
I feel like if you can't look someone in the eye while you're going down on them, then like maybe you shouldn't do it. Like there should be an intimacy factor, and like you should be confident enough that like
some people are just scared of eye contact.
It is intimidating.
I mean, unless you're like, bug-eyed staring at someone, making them feel weird.
On the same note, don't look at me the entire time. Like look away.
Like break it for like a second because like
I've had guys like watching me too intently while they're eating my pussy, and I'm like,
same. I'm like, it's good. Okay, I told you it's good. Don't keep checking.
And but on that note, I do think eye contact is important, and I think teasing is important, and getting it nice and wet. And so sometimes it takes my mouth a second to get wet, and so like let's use these moments to like tease and ramp up. I've heard from men that like the tip of their cock is more sensitive than the shaft, so like a lot of like playing with like the tip in your mouth and like playing with like suction and like soft licking and all this stuff before you start putting the whole thing down your throat, which is super hot and I love to do as well. But my trick, but literally, I won't name names, but if he's listening, he's going to know exactly who he is right now. He was not a porn guy. He was taking a picture of me giving him head, and I had it like wet, so it was like really wet, and I was jerking him off, and then I went to lick the base and his balls at the same time, like, so it's like you're like at the base of the cock, but like when you like put your tongue out, it kind of rubs against the ball too. And he couldn't even deal, and he huddled over and took the picture at the wrong thing. And it was like, I was like, yes, I got you.
You broke him.
I broke him. And so that's always been my trick, is jerking the guy off once I get it wet. Mm-hmm. So I've been like essentially blowing him for a few minutes. And so it's nice and wet. I take the tip of the cock in my hand and I'm like massaging it. And then I'm like kind of licking the base of his dick and balls. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be a power move.
Okay.
Has there ever been a time that you felt really uncomfortable and or not confident with your dick sucking skills, or is there something that like you look back on and you're like, maybe I'm not gonna do that ever again?
Usually, I mean, I love giving head, so usually like no, it's like great situation, A+, fine. But there was one situation when I was younger and I might have been on some cocaine. And also my mouth was really dry.
Was your mouth tight and dry?
I had to like give up because I was like, just felt so fucking awkward, and I just knew what? No, I don't know. That was like the only time.
On that note, cocaine sex in general, I do not recommend. Everything dries out. I'm like, I'm sorry, my mouth and my pussy don't work.
Oh my God,
don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
Earlier, I was trying to think of a time that I didn't give good head, and I feel like this wasn't technically my fault.
Oh, that's good.
I was doing a scene, and it was like a face fucking scene, and the guy was not a super experienced performer, and there's certain things where I just think that like the more experienced you are, you're gonna kind of know how to navigate these things that you would never think about if you weren't a performer. So he's like trying to like do his best and give it all and like really give my face a good fucking. And I'm taking it like a champ, but at the same time, he was really thick and my mouth is only so big. And like when I'm in control of the blowjob, I know how to not tooth it.
Yeah.
But he was like my face, my neck was like, I was like on my back hanging off the edge of the bed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like my head was back and he was just fucking my face. So I literally have no control.
Which is, yeah, it was a little...
I'm literally just like, blah. And you know, I'm
a vessel.
I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel, and I have sharp teeth in the back of my teeth. I'm spooky. And at one point, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, he's got to be feeling my teeth because he's like going ham.
But you couldn't tell if he was in like pain.
No, but he pulled out and I started seeing that like he was injured. Like there was like, it looked, you know, like hickied, but like to redness. Like I had scraped away skin and
Ow.
I was like, did you not...
So I just so into it. I just like didn't even.
I'm gonna take that answer because it makes me feel better. But I think he was just trying to be a really good performer. Because listen, like I've done painful things as a performer, just like at the shop. But like I felt so bad because I was like, did I ruin the rest of your week of scenes? I'm like, are you okay? Do you feel this? Like I was like, the only way that scene would have worked is if my teeth were shaved down to nubs, because I mean, like, that was a really, really intense thing. And like, I've had guys do that to me, but they were more experienced performers. They were more aware of like, you know, if you feel a thing, maybe move yourself this way. And if you feel, and that's all just that comes with experience. It doesn't mean you're better at sex or not. That's like a performative thing. And he was an angel about it. But toothy blowjobs can be really painful. So I didn't mean to do that. But if you are giving head and you may not be a deep throater, the dick might be too big for you. I always recommend, if you're gonna start going harder, to put your lips over your teeth. It doesn't look hot, but it feels hot. And
what do you mean? Put your lips over your teeth? Like
what? Yeah, bitch. Yeah,
like a denture face.
I got denture face. When you're like trying to put the whole thing in your mouth and you're going at it, do you want your teeth scraping?
I mean, no.
Exactly. So, yeah. So imagine like you're doing like a denture face. Do that. Make sure it's got lots of spit. And you're like,
I wish you could all see her face right now, what she's doing.
Anyway, that will prevent at least the front teeth from getting it. But he was getting my, canines?
No.
Wait.
Those are these.
Oh,
those are like your vampire.
What are the back ones?
Molars. What's that movie? Teeth? Vagina dentata?
Yes. So, another piece of advice is tease it. Love the shaft.
Don't forget the balls.
Don't forget the balls. Put them in your mouth, but also, like, a lot of guys' balls are really sensitive, so also, like, feel it out. Some guys like more licking, some guys like more sucking.
Some like them to be pulled.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I've experienced that. So, again, always start soft, feel it out, see how they're reacting, and, it all comes down to communication at the end, so they can tell you if they want a little bit rougher or whatever. And then the other thing that I don't miss out on both genders is the butthole. I really am an advocate for eating ass all around. Boy butt, girl butt, any butt, queer butt, trans butt. I will.
Just not dog butt.
No dog butts. Keep it human. But that's another thing too. And obviously it's all about consent and for people to feel comfortable. So I'll usually, be licking the balls and just go a little lower.
Yeah.
Just go a little lower.
I mean, and then some of them
will
ask for it. So
yeah, some of them are
touch my butt.
Shamefully will just put their buttholes in my face. And I'm like, okay, alrighty.
Which is fine.
I recently did a scene with two of my favorite male performers, Owen Gray and Small Hands, aka Aaron. And I had this, because Owen is like very shameless about how much he likes to get his ass eaten, which I love. And I had like a out of body experience because it was so hot, because Aaron was fucking me while Owen was sitting on my face. And I was like, am I in heaven?
Is this it?
This is it. I think I've peaked my sexual experiences because that was really nice. Do you like eating ass?
I like my butt.
Do you not like...
No, it depends. It depends. If I'm like super into a guy and I'm already like down there anyways, I'll for sure just like slide a tongue a little further. Or like, and if they ask for it and if they like it, then fuck, who cares?
Right.
I'm down.
Also, again, if you are into that being done, then like practice common hygiene.
Yes, that's important too.
Like if I'm about to fuck a guy, I wipe all of the holes down with a little baby wipe, my little baby wipe to go. It's like, if you're not feeling fresh that day, maybe don't. But yeah, don't expect me to eat your ass if it doesn't, hold up to standard sanitary regulations.
Sanitary regulations.
I don't know. But yeah, it should be kept clean. I don't mind body hair, but it should be clean.
I have a really good story about come from a blowjob ending up somewhere inappropriately.
Go on.
So I had a boyfriend back in the day, and I was cheating on him.
Kendall!
And, I had went and did the deed with the person that I was sleeping with, and he came.
So you went and cheated on him?
Yeah. And so he went and he came, and that was that. And then my boyfriend at the time, this is obvious now, did hair, and I went to get my hair done afterwards.
By him?
Yeah, and I sat in the chair, and he's like, "What's in your hair?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked, and sure enough, some cum had gotten in my hair. It was like literally like 2 hours before, and I was, I could see it in the mirror.
You are such a bitch. You cheated on your boyfriend and got your hair done by him. With the guy's cum in your hair.
Yeah, and he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy. I have no idea."
Something about Mary. It's all sticking up.
So fucked up.
Kendall!
So that's me.
You like cum in your hair.
I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it in my hair. Well, we misplaced that one.
Right.
And I oop.
Okay. Well, I like it in my mouth if I'm giving a blowjob.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
It's like the forcefulness, and like it's also him like completing. Like you're like satisfied. You're like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I did it.
I succeeded.
You feel it's all warm in your mouth,
and it is nutritious.
I don't care about that.
I was helping you.
It's a keratin treatment. Why do you tell you so much?
You ever heard of a deep conditioning mask?
Leave me alone. Yeah, I like come in my mouth after a blowjob. Ultimately, I just think like coming on something is like even more for porno, unless like you're just doing the pull-out method, in which it's usually my stomach or my ass.
Yeah,
but
that's another thing. If you forget that it's there, and then you have the like white.
Oh yeah,
crunchy.
Yeah.
Like you go home the next morning or something, you're like, oh yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think that we have covered the bases of sucking a good dick. If I missed anything, let me know. But I think that we got it, right?
I think so. I hope everyone goes out after listening to this and sucks a dick.
Double fist it.
Yeah.
I mean, or literally double fist it with 2 cocks.
Ooh.
I'm like, sounds good.
We have all these holes for a reason, right?
Oh my God. I told you about that scene I did where I was like Christian and we could only do it in my ass. And I literally scream while he's fucking me. I'm like, thank you, God, for giving me holes to choose from.
Praise him.
Praise be. So Kendall and I have been having a very spirited conversation about cocks and blowjobs, but we wanted someone to come in and weigh in who actually is a proud owner of a cock. So I'm going to be interviewing a friend of mine who owns one of those things, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about how he enjoys his head. So there's only so much I can attest to what a good blowjob entails or what it actually feels like. So Danny Sanchez, penis owner and gemologist. Welcome to Slut Shame This.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
It's nice to have you. So introduce yourself to our listeners. What can we know about you? The little basics.
Basics. Let's see. Born and raised in Los Angeles.
Same.
All right.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Whereabouts?
That's nice. The Valley, North Valley.
I am from North Hollywood.
Okay. I live in Valley Village.
Oh yeah, I grew up next to Val Surf. Mm-hmm.
Whitsit.
Yeah, Whitsit forever.
Whitsit forever.
Val Surf forever. It's like a little iconic spot.
I lived in an apartment complex like right up from Val Surf, like on Whitsit.
Yeah, I grew up on Riverside Drive.
Let's just talk about this. Is this the podcast?
You know what? It could be if we wanted it to be. I mean,
welcome back to Valley Talk.
Porn does take place in the Valley, so it all circles back.
Yes.
To sex.
Yes.
Okay.
So
you're born and raised in LA.
In LA. I'm a gemologist, as you said. So
okay, so what's a gemologist for people who don't know?
I know about gemstones, like gemstones and their uses.
Okay.
My specialty. Now, that's a weird sort of vague thing.
Okay.
But I'm in the jewelry business, basically.
You're in the jewelry business. Yeah. So you're not, do you know a lot about like the healing properties or like that kind of stuff about gemstones? Or is it more like the value and selling the gemstones? Like
the latter.
The latter. Okay, got it. And did you go to school for that?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you go to school in like CSUN or something in the Valley?
I went to, I went to UC Irvine. That's not where I learned that.
Okay.
I dropped out of UC Irvine. And I went to, long story short, I went to the Gemological Institute of America, which is in Carlsbad, and that's where I learned about gems.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are, like, do you work in like high-end retail for gems and that kind of stuff, or how do?
Yeah.
It's all I don't really know what I'm talking about, so I don't know if I'm asking the right questions.
That's the right question. That's a fine question. I work in the antique and estate side of the business.
Incredible. So would you be able to like know the history of a gem by looking at it?
That's one of the cool things about gemology, and my specialty in particular is like being able to identify rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and perhaps where they came from on the planet.
And would you know how old they were?
That's a little bit harder.
Okay.
But you can tell sometimes by the cut.
Okay.
And if they're real beat up and worn.
Right. I guess I'm just so fascinated by finding like old things.
Yeah,
It's like holding history in your hand.
I'm surrounded by that.
That's
all
incredible.
the time. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
It's very fun.
I want some rubies.
Mm-hmm. They're out there.
I want emeralds. I want emeralds. I'm a green girl.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I do own a penis made out of a gem. I guess it's crystal.
Okay.
Is that a gem? Crystal?
Crystal is a shorthand a lot of times for what's called colorless quartz. So a lot of times people will just call colorless quartz crystal. Even though like everything's a crystal.
But is that a gem then? Quartz?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I have a gem dildo. It is clear. I got it from Shock Rubs. I don't know if anyone listening is familiar with Shock Rubs, but they make dildos that are made out of gems. So they have like amethyst. They have rose quartz. I think they even have an onyx one, which is amazing. But I got the clear quartz as like a little starter because it's kind of a neutral energy if you're into the energetic properties of gemstones, which I won't dive too far into. But I was like, I never masturbated with a gem before. Maybe I should start with a very neutral energy, like maybe not channel like a rose quartz, very like lovey energy. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that yet. So I have a clear one. I love it. It's beautiful. It feels like luxury. It does though. It's like this is.
Is that their slogan?
I don't know. It should be. It's like my pussy deserves this.
That's the slogan. That's the slogan.
Yes. Yeah, and it's said that a lot of gemstones absorb your energy. So it's said that like the more you use it, the more your sexual intention and energy gets put into that stone, and thus you're giving it back to yourself. So it's almost like this whole Ouroboros of sexuality. You're putting your sexuality into it, and then you're fucking yourself with it, and it's a whole thing.
I like Ouroboros.
I haven't thought about this at all. Send me more dildos, guys. So I could talk about gems all day, but this is a sex, love, and relationships podcast, and I really wanted to have someone with a penis on the show to talk about oral pleasures because I don't have a dick. I don't know what it's like to get a blowjob, and me and Kendall were riffing about what kind of dicks we like and you know what kind of blowjobs we like to give. But I want to hear it from what's that term? The horse's mouth. No.
Sure, the horse's mouth is a thing, that you say, for sure.
Okay. I want to hear it from
In this case,
horse's
that's how you would use it.
mouth. And I'm thinking about dicks and okay.
Oh boy.
So, let's just start off with what constitutes as a good way to start a blowjob for you. Like where's the initiation point? What's gonna get you hard in like the initial parts, like in a matter of like how she's flirting or touching you to begin with, before it comes out, before the mouth is on your dick. What's gonna get you riled up from a woman interacting with you, or a man, sorry, not to be presumptuous, or whomever?
Well, I mean, like starting with touching on the outside, right? So nice, like leading up, touching around like the area, thighs, hip bones.
So you like to be like groped and kind of.
I like to be groped.
Yeah.
For sure.
Eye contact?
Or eye contact.
Eye contact is
come
important,
on.
right? So like a little stimulation over the jeans, a little groping, a little eye contact, a little flirting. Yeah. So
a little bodies together.
Making out. Kissing. Come on.
Is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I did a scene. I keep talking about him. I have such a crush on him. Small Hands, Aaron. And it was our first scene together. And I was about to just like go suck his dick. And he's like, and he grabs my face and he's like, I have to kiss you before you suck my dick. And I was like, oh, you're from heaven. So, I mean, but I feel like that. But I don't know if that's like a gender thing. Because I'm always like, I want to be kissed and groped and you know, buttered up for the other stuff first.
Same. I'm exactly the same way. And of course I can't speak for my gender, but I mean, I feel the same way. I love making out and I love pushing against someone. Just
what about some dry humping? Honestly, the unsung hero of foreplay.
Okay. I was just doing some dry humping the other day, and afterward, we did like a debrief, and it was like we were just like reveling in how awesome dry humping it is.
So
also,
hot.
we were joking like, well, what's wet humping? But then we realized that
Wet humping is fucking. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, we were getting so hot.
It gets
dry humping.
Yeah.
And it had been a little while since I like actively engaged in like dry humping for like just for its own sake.
Right.
It was so hot. It
Yeah.
was so hot.
I had a situation like that not too long ago with someone, and we had just decided that we weren't going to have sex that evening, but we had such sexual tension. We were hanging out, so we kept doing this like makey outy, rubbing on each other, intermittent shit, and it was like the biggest turn on ever. And I was like, if we had decided to fuck, I would have been more ready than I'd ever been. I feel like there's something to be said about it's literally a marathon, it's not a sprint, and I feel like everyone's always rushing. We get nervous and we get like, oh, you get like, it's a very overstimulating thing when you're excited about fucking someone, but I think slowing down and taking your time is a really important aspect of like any sexual act as far as I'm concerned. But it seems like we're kind of on the same page here.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of people are so like goal oriented, right?
Right.
So that said, like, what is the goal? A lot of people think it's orgasm, and like really the goal is, I don't know,
to have a good
enjoying
time.
each other.
Yeah. Totally. And being a woman who does an orgasm every single time I have sex, and which is like, that's fine. And obviously I would love it to not be the case, but I still enjoy it nonetheless if it's done right. And, you know, it's, again, like orgasm is just kind of the cherry on top if you're doing it right.
Right.
So making out,
So
rubbing.
Yeah.
And so
a lot of touching.
do you want the girl to be the initiator, or are you going to be like, hey, maybe push her head down, or do you want her to be the subtle? I was actually watching Big Mouth.
Yes.
Where the little kids are like stuck in the bedroom, and they're just, the guy just keeps pushing her head down, and she's like, ah. It's like, I mean, I've been there, and sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not.
Right. I think for me, it differs partner to partner.
Right.
And like, I definitely lean towards topping.
Mm-hmm.
But
topping meaning being more of like a dominant energy.
Being more dominant.
Okay,
right.
yeah. So for those who don't know,
we
just always have to clarify because we don't know how sexually advanced everyone is. Topping and bottoming is like basically a dynamic in the bedroom. Bottoming would be like a more submissive energy, and topping would be a more dominant energy. Right.
Right.
Simplified.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are a more dominant.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So while I lean in that direction, I'm also really service oriented.
Okay.
So there are terms for that as well, but and it definitely is important to me that my partner is really enjoying and gets off with whatever kind of head that is being given.
Right. I like to call it enthusiastic consent.
Absolutely. That's like the buzzwords.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I love oral, giving and receiving.
Right.
And I'm only going to be with a partner that loves it as well.
Right. We've totally discussed this on the female end too. I'm like, I don't want begrudging head.
No.
Like,
no, stop. Just stop.
Just don't.
Like, just don't.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Don't. It's fine. We don't have to do this.
Right.
I don't want it. You don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's because it's not fun for anybody at that point. I'm like, I can tell you don't want to be down there.
Yeah.
And now I'm dry or you're soft or whatever, and it's not working.
Yeah, it's not cool.
So we want some enthusiastic
what sex
consent.
should be about. Yeah. Yeah.
We want that enthusiastic consent. So we're just going to pretend we have enthusiastic consent and she's going down. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
So your dick's out. It's super hard. Or maybe it's not all the way hard.
At this point, it's probably hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I also think it's kind of hot to get it hard in your mouth. And a lot of people are like, I don't know. Because a lot of guys are like, I want to be hard right away. I don't want... It's a vulnerable place to be, but I also think that it is really hot and there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're not rock hard right away, I'm like happy to take you there, or at least try. I think there is something like embedded in the male psyche. Like, I've had boyfriends that wouldn't want me to see their soft dick. I'm like, let me touch it, let me squeeze it, come on, like, let's get over this hump. And like, I like feeling I get hard in my hands or my mouth, but usually if there's kissing and making out and all that, then we're ready to go, right? I mean,
at that point, at this hypothetical situation we're building,
yes,
I'm hard.
We're building a narrative. Right. You're hard.
Right.
So do you want a girl to tease you a little bit? And if so, how would she tease you? And if you're not into teasing, say a blowjob's on a 1 to 10. 1 is like teasing you, and 10 is like gagging, mascara running, spit strings everywhere. Maybe she throws up on your dick. Where do you want the girl to start? You're like 10.
Perhaps not at the 10. That is a different. I mean, we can talk about this, but that's like, to me, that's a different thing.
Okay.
Because that's power exchange.
Right.
In my experience, in my opinion. But. Okay, to answer the question.
I digress.
So teasing is great. I mean, to continue that sort of teasing, touching, teasing this,
Right.
like take it out, put it in your mouth a little bit, maybe lick it, maybe a little ball play.
We love ball
right?
play.
Just a little like fingernail ball play, or like a little
fingernail. That's hot.
Yeah.
If she's got the fingernails.
If she got fingernails, like that's nice.
Soft.
It's really nice.
Just
Soft.
a tease, right?
I also have like sensitive balls, like my whole life, so I'm not into like rough ball play. So fingernails is enough, like
Right.
maybe a little light licking.
Right.
I mean, as far as the balls, but yeah, just like a nice to continue teasing. It does not. It's not. We don't have to start face fucking all of a sudden. Like it's
Right.
nice to.
we
it's nice to
we
build.
stan a face fuck, but it doesn't have to start off like
Right.
that.
It does.
But it could.
I stand it too. But it doesn't have to start there.
Right.
For sure.
Okay. Because I was having a conversation. I'm just going to drop his name. I'm sure he's fine with it. My friend's boyfriend, Jordan, last night, I was at their housewarming party, and I thought it'd be fun to have him on. But he was actually saying, he's like, I hate getting teased. I like a blowjob to start at a 5. And so when he said that, I had never thought about the 1 to 10. And I was like, all right. So I was imagining a 5, like a pretty enthusiastic, solid, like medium spitty back and forth, maybe a hand in there. That's like a 5. And so I was like, well, what's a 1 and what's a 10? But it's just really funny because I actually hadn't met anyone that wants to just kind of start midway, but he's like, I like teasing. I don't want to be teased. Start the blowjob at a 5. But as we learn time and time again on the show, is that everything is individually based, and we can try to sum up a gender. It's never going to happen. At the end of the day, it is all about the person and feeling out their energy. And so if a guy wants you to start really going for it, there's usually indicators.
That I will say though, if my partner like really gets off with, by having a dick in their mouth,
Yeah.
and really going for it,
Yeah.
like of course I'm fine with that.
Right.
I don't need a blowjob to look a certain way necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, so you mean like you don't need to like look
Well, not
at
just
it
look,
and-
but feel.
Right,
it
right.
doesn't have to be a certain way every time. Really, again, it's to me, I get off by my partner's enjoyment.
Right.
So if she or like if they really like to
go for
go
it.
for it, if they
Yeah.
want to hammer away, and that's
Hammer
fine
away.
too. That's great. I don't come easily with oral, so oral is usually.
It's kind of like a foreplay thing for you.
It's a foreplay. It could be a rhythm change during sex. But it's hard to tack that on the end and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come, like let's suck me off, and like
Right.
it's not always how I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel best coming.
Yeah. It is also nice to kind of break out of like verse, chorus, verse. I call it sex, where it's like, first we kiss, and then there's the blowjob, and then there's the eating out, and then the fucking, and then it's done. I love an intermittent like break for oral and like going, back and forth. Like there really doesn't have to be just a specific allotted time for oral.
Right.
And I think it's fun as like a sensory change, because it feels, I'm sure, a lot different to be inside another orifice than it does the mouth. And I think that's another thing too, just a fun little side note, is that oral sex can come into play at any point during a sexual experience. It doesn't have to be just in the beginning.
I love it. Either way, I love it either way.
So do you want to answer, are you cut or uncut?
Uncut. I mean, sorry.
You answered. You're cut. Okay.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Do you, I do like being cut. Do you feel like you've been robbed of extra sensations that you've heard of from uncut guys?
That was a conversation I had, or an ongoing conversation I had with several friends years back. I don't feel like I've been robbed of anything.
You still
That
have a
said-
dick, which is super cool.
Yeah, that's it. That said, it's like I'm not a fan of circumcision
Right.
in general as a practice.
Yeah.
For myself, I'm fine. I'm fine
Right.
with it. I quite like my dick.
You'll survive. You'll be
Yes,
okay.
I'll survive. Mm-hmm. I'm used to the way it looks. I love it.
Right.
But yeah, cut.
Right. So,
Don't feel bad about it.
with guys that are uncircumcised, I feel like I don't do the exact same things orally as I do with guys that are cut. Because guys that are cut, everything's just out on display, where when a guy is uncut, it's a little bit more hidden. And sometimes when you pull back the skin, it's really sensitive, or it can even be painful. And so I want to just do like that side note of like, people, if you're going down on someone who is uncut, feel them out before you like pull the skin back and stuff. I've had a lot of men prefer that I don't do that and just, leave it as is. And then other guys are like, wait, pull it back a little. And it's like, it's sensitive. I feel like dicks are a lot more like pussies than we give them credit for. I just think it's easier for guys to come. But other than that, I think they should be taken with the same with balls, A lot of girls like, I've just heard horror stories, and if you want to share a horror story too, of just maybe girls being too aggressive with balls and it hurting, or like, sometimes people just want to impress with like theatrics, like, oh, I'm gonna put both of his balls in my mouth and suck really hard. It's like, I don't know. Maybe that's not everyone's preference. I've done it. But it was upon request. So just little things like that. So you have a circumcised penis. So do you like head play? Is like your head sensitive? Like what's the more sensitive part of your cock? Because it'd be like
Definitely the head.
The head.
So there's like the glands, right, which is like the head, and then the frenulum, the underbit.
Mm-hmm. That little
This area. I'm gesturing. Podcasting.
Got it. Nailed
Everyone's
it.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the corona, which is like the edge of the head, right, the back end of the head.
Okay.
I think those two bits, the corona, the frenulum, the underside, like those are really sensitive areas, and like I'd say the best use of mouth. The best use of mouth. Congratulations, best use of mouth on those areas.
There's an award for that in my industry.
Is there?
So,
Okay.
yeah, best oral.
It's like the roughness of the tongue against that. That's really nice because the shaft or my shaft isn't that sensitive. It's like only the stroking of the shaft is really what is sensitive up there. So yeah, tongue play there. I'm not a big teeth fan. Some people are.
Yeah. No, yes.
I know there's a lot of jokes made about that, but some people are, and that's not for me.
Yeah.
And like you said, ball play. But to go back a step, like if you're into a light convo beforehand, like how sensitive is your foreskin? Like how far back can I? That might be something, right?
Right.
Same with balls. So like I would on the front end say, oh, and by the way, I have sensitive balls. I'm not super into a lot of ball play.
Right.
And if any, just like gentle, as I gesture again. I'm doing magic fingers.
Magic fingers. Jazz hands.
I'm doing jazz hands.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a different.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other ball game. Zing.
I know where the sound effect is going.
And that's funny because our last episode, we talked about sexual boundaries. And so we talked about how sometimes you don't always have those conversations prior to. And so oftentimes you just have to speak up during. And I think it's like a mutual responsibility of like not going apeshit on someone's genitals right away and feeling them out. And it's also our responsibility to kind of self-advocate and be like, I actually tell people now, I'm like, I have a sensitive clit, like, please don't hammer it. Like, because some people just, I don't know. They're like, how do I DJ this pussy? And like, they're just pressing into it. Like, as I don't know. I'm like, so I have now been like, yeah, the lighter, the better. I'll let you know if I want it harder. And so I'm assuming same with how you want.
I mean, yes, same.
And so once you've gotten past that like initial, the threshold has been crossed, your dick is in the mouth. Do you want sloppy, spitty? Do you want it a little bit more streamlined, less spit? Does spit feel better?
Well, spit is lube, right? And lube always feels more lube the better.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's like a sweet spot when I'm giving head of like, this is the perfect amount of spit because I can feel the friction and I can feel the lubrication. And then sometimes it gets so spitty that I'm like, can he even feel this anymore? Like it's so wet. It's like,
if there's a ton of lube, like in this case, like
Right.
a lot of spit, my experience is to tighten up, whatever that means. Like it could be grip hand, it could be mouth.
Right.
That way, yes, then I am feeling it more.
Right. So you're not afraid of a little sloppiness.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so you like the string spit. Does the string spit, so the girl pulls away and she's got that string of spit connected to her cock, to your mouth, does that turn you on?
It's pretty sexy.
It's unreal. Like it's unreal to me. Like when I do it, I'm like I'm the queen of blowjobs. Like it's very visually appealing, and I think it's very hot and like animalistic. But
And I got a mirror, so it's like if we're sitting right,
great. Well, all my blowjobs are mostly recorded, so now I'm like, let me rewind. Let me check back on that. All right.
Nailed it.
But even before I ever had sex on camera, I always thought like a little spit was hot. And then deep throating. Does deep throating feel really good, or is it more of a like the act itself?
The act is what's hot. Yeah, it doesn't feel any better.
Right.
It's just like you feel a pressure.
Right.
That's kind of it. It's hot. So it's hot. That's sexy up here.
Right.
As I gesture up on my head. Right.
He's pointing to his third eye.
Yeah. It opens my third eye, that deep throat.
Yeah.
But it doesn't physically feel better on my dick.
Right. I kind of gathered that. I just think I'm a more intuitive lover, and I could always just tell that like the head is where the magic is happening, and then obviously like the shaft is where like the stroking is happening. So when you're deep throating, you can't really stroke anything because your mouth is like can't really grip, and then it's the head I guess is hitting the back of the throat, but it's more it's like less. It's not really getting finessed. It's just kind of getting shoved back there. But then I've also noticed that some guys get extremely hard when I'm doing it because I think it's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
It completely, it's like this chick is gagging on the dick, you know, like
She's all the way down there.
like what do they say? Nose to belly button.
And that's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what everyone says.
That's what they all say to me. Because I have a big nose, so it's easier, you know? So anyways.
Well, so that goes back to, like gagging, face fucking, like that's super hot. That can be very hot if your partner is like turned on by that.
Yeah.
Is, like down for that. But it doesn't feel any better. It just it's just super hot if that's what's happening.
Right.
And
that's all
doing nothing for my dick.
Right. And I feel like sex for me, I'm thinking for myself as like 50% physical, 50% cerebral, like truly. And I think that a lot of the things is like, like the taboo is hot or the idea behind this is hot more so than it actually feels. But then combined, it's like extra. So I feel like a lot of guys really like the like more intense, almost violent blowjobs, but I've also heard guys that are not into it. So let's just pretend that you don't like that. What would you do if a girl started like really just like the mascara's running? She's like, and you're like, what? You're like, well, how do I stop this? I don't like this.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, it's like a lot of other things during sex. Not necessarily like whoa,
right?
But it's more like a, hey, you know what I really like?
Yes.
You know, like a nice gentle correction.
All right.
You know what I really like? You know what really?
Yeah.
You know,
a gentle correction. I like that term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do this thing, like maybe when you use your hand more, or like just work my head and use your hand more, and just maybe like a lot of saliva or whatever it is.
Right.
Spit in your head, whatever it ends up being.
Like, can you clean some of the saliva up, ma'am? Suck it off. This is too much.
Dry your eyes.
Yeah. Go clean up your mascara and return. I don't know.
I like a clean eye look. Thank you very much.
You have like makeup preferences all of a sudden. You're like, I don't know. I need a fresh face to be blowing me. I can't have this dirty whore with mascara.
I was thinking I would be fucking someone with a clean eye look. Thank you. Now I can't have that.
Oh, for shame. Shame. So
like a nice gentle correction,
Right.
like some hand work. Again, if that's not what I like, and instead I like head work.
Oh, head work.
If I like head work, then like, ooh, well, this is what really turns me on. What really turns me on
Right.
is, just really like use your tongue on, this part, like the edge of my head or the rim of, whatever words you want to use. But yeah.
And eye contact, is that like I'm assuming it's preferred because we talked about it. Is it a deal breaker though? Like if a girl's not making eye contact with you while she's sucking her dick, is that going to make you feel?
Some people gotta focus.
I know it's
So
true.
it's like, if that's what it takes. No, it's like eye contact is fine. Prolonged eye contact maybe is a little like, okay.
We totally talked about that.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, at some point I'm like, stop looking at me. Let me enjoy this head. Like I start feeling a little bit like, all right, okay.
I've had a partner that was like really, really into eye contact. And if that's their thing, then it's like, they just want to be watching me receive pleasure.
Right.
And so they want to see me in a state of pleasure.
Right.
So it's like, well, okay, then that's what I'll do.
Right.
I won't look them
Deeply
back
in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
It's like, if someone really likes to do that, and maybe that's a debrief, like an afterwards thing. Like, so I noticed you're making a tense eye contact. It was super hot. But is that something like you think I want, or is it something that gets you off?
Right.
And then you can.
I like it when a guy kind of checks in every now and then with the eyes when they're going down on me. But I don't want to be watched the whole time because if I'm being watched too much, I start feeling like I have to be performative. I'm like, I have to show him how much I'm into it. Where honestly, sometimes when I'm into it, I like kind of get a little bit more quiet because I'm like trying to like zone it and like feel it. I'm not just like, I don't want to like do theatrics right now. So it's just, I mean, it can be very theatrical. So I was just wondering if it was the same for, getting a blowjob.
I mean, you're aware when someone's like staring you down.
Oh, you are.
So it's a thing, but it's also, again, it's something to maybe talk about after. Because that's a weird thing to correct in the middle.
Right. Like, stop looking at me.
You know what gets me off?
Your eyes.
If you stop fucking looking at me.
Oh, shit. For shame. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, sorry. No, that'd be really funny.
But and when I'm giving head, like, I check in. I like to see a person in pleasure, so that's great. But I'm not staring someone down in the eyes.
I also like to look at the dick.
Sure.
I'm like, let me look at your dick because I get. We were talking about it, Kendall and I, and I'm like, I get so horny when I'm sucking a dick, and part of it is looking at and worshiping the dick. So sometimes I feel like in porn, like it's so important for me to like constantly be looking up because it's a visual thing too. Like when they're filming, they want to see the cock in the mouth and they want to see the girl's eyes, so they always want you looking up, and I do like it. But in the scenes where I'm kind of allowed to do more of my own thing, like people will notice that I probably perv out on the dick more than like making straight eye contact the whole time, whereas some of the more performative scenes I have my eyes up because that's my job, is to like give the visual. But I think people watch that and maybe think that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I have a partner who really loves to watch herself in the mirror give head.
Yeah, that's
so it's similar.
so
I mean,
hot.
like oh, okay, hold on. Room noise. Like move, reorient. Okay, now let's, it's hot. I mean, it's super hot.
Yeah, and then we also talked about the double hand and then sucking the head. Like that's kind of my go-to move when either the guy might have softened up at some point, I want to get him really hard, or make a guy come. I feel like that kind of has been a foolproof maneuver, is two hands kind of massaging the whole shaft, and it's spitty, and then you're also sucking on the head.
Yeah, I can see that's going to work. That would work for me. That would work on me.
Yeah. I feel like that across
Having
the board.
said I don't really come with oral.
Right.
Like if you just fucking go for it. Can we say fuck?
Oh, we big time say fuck on the show. We say all the naughty words.
But we can't say
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, like just really go. Like really go for it.
I'm like, I like that you're doing the motion. We're both doing the motions, but they can't see the motions. Unfortunately. And our Instagram got deleted. So I'd be like, I would post a like non-dick, like an air dick thing, air dick video.
I'm playing the air dick.
Yeah, I'll post it on Twitter because nothing gets deleted on Twitter. Twitter is my haven. Okay, so we are down for the double hand and plus oral. All right, let's round this out with, do you like getting your ass eaten while you're getting a blowjob? Or, so, clearly maybe the girl doesn't have two mouths, but, amongst the head experience, do you want your ass eaten as well?
Generally, no. Though,
Okay.
like, I've experienced that enough, and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's not really my go-to.
All right.
Yeah, and it's also like a lot more angling.
It is, yeah. You have to get in a more vulnerable position.
And it's not necessarily that. It's not even that. It's just like, yeah, I'm flexible. I can do it. But also, it's just not my thing. It's not my thing as much.
Yeah. Fair enough. I feel like that's less of like a broad standard thing. I feel like maybe it's been like 35, 65%, 65 being not so into it. But the guys that are like really into it and aren't usually too shy about it. So I feel like if a guy's into it, he's either going to suggest it, or if you go try it, they're going to be very enthusiastic about that.
I've been meaning to get back into more ass play.
Yeah.
Like I should
It's really
get back in there.
I mean, I like doing it, but I'm just like a pleaser. So, I mean, the taste of a clean asshole just tastes like skin. So it's not even about that. It's like the idea that what I'm doing is turning them on and making them feel good. And I'm like, that's it. That's like all I want. So eating ass in general, like putting my tongue on a butthole isn't necessarily like the hottest thing in the whole world, but it's the act of it, and it's like how much the other person likes it. But also like pheromones, there's just so many pheromones tucked away under there, and if you like the person and you like their smell, then it's I just think that guys, if they think they might be into it, it's worth exploring. There's no shame about getting your ass eaten. And if you want to experiment with it, just baby wipe it. Keep it clean. Smell check. If you wouldn't eat your own ass, don't expect someone else to do it.
It's a great rule of thumb.
I know. A rule of thumb.
Hey.
A thumb check.
Thumb check.
Just get a little thumb up there, and if you wouldn't suck your thumb after, then
After I installed bidets on all the toilets in my house, like game changer.
Oh wow, luxury.
Oh, $35 on Amazon.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you the link.
Okay, perfect.
They're amazing.
Okay, I'm
Change
going
your
to
life.
just be living in luxury with my crystal dildos and my bidet. It's just going to like welcome to my sexual palace of love.
I bought bidets
desire.
for people for Christmas. That's how serious I am.
Wow.
Yeah. And installed them because you can buy it, but then it's like, oh, okay, well, thanks.
Yeah.
But then they've put it away.
Yeah,
I'm
I hate
like,
when
no,
people
you're
give
gonna
me
use
like
this.
chore gifts. I'm like, this is a chore. Do it for me as the gift. Just bring it in. Because I've been gifted things that just sit, like, cause I'm never going to do it myself.
Anyway, it helps keep the ass relatively
Yeah.
clean.
I also always say like a good slut always has baby wipes on her. Like I or him, whatever. But I always have baby wipes at my house, and then I carry on like little. My promiscuous days are pretty much over, so that there's rarely going to be a time that I'm like out and about and like accidentally have sex. But just in case.
Oops.
Just in case, I do always have those little like summer's eve individually packed things. Just give yourself a little wipe down beforehand, and then I feel like some people, maybe not guys as much, but they get a little in their head about oral because they're insecure about stuff like hygiene and whatever. So just practicing general hygiene, like it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Like we're all adults here, like we can wash our genitals and we can also smell check our genitals, like really truly. If you can't smell your own dick, I don't like what, come on, it's your own dick.
That's a good quote. We're all adults here. You can wash your genitals.
Okay.
That's considerate. That's being a considerate, well, in this case, a considerate lover.
Yes.
Like, clean your shit.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
quite literally.
yeah.
Quite literally clean your shit. I mean, episode 1, I literally talk about how to evacuate all the shit from your asshole so you can get fucked in it in a clean manner. And yeah, there's a whole thing about how you don't have to do that, but I'm a fan of it because I just can't relax if I feel anything near my butt and I'm scared I'm going to shit.
Understand.
Yeah, also, if someone shoos you away, they might just be having a bad day. They might be really into butt stuff, but it's just not the moment.
Yeah.
So we've gone over the T's, the spit levels, the 1 to 10 level of intensity. We talked about ass eating, ball play. I guess the only thing we still have to cover is coming. I know you say that you don't really usually come from oral, which is fine.
Right.
But in this scenario, we are coming from oral. Where do you prefer to come?
Okay, so this is where, now we're going to get into my pathology a bit.
Okay.
But like, just to set the table, when I was a kid, I was a small child, I wouldn't finger paint.
You would not finger
Like,
paint.
or like there was a thing apparently like where you like painted with pudding because that's fun for kids, I guess.
I loved finger paint as a kid.
Okay, so I wouldn't do it. This is not a memory of mine, but this is my parents telling me this.
Okay.
And because it took me many years to like get over like being dirty on my hands and like.
Okay, so you were a little bit like a little
messophobe.
you were a little germaphobe.
Not a germaphobe, but like a mesophobe.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't need the dough like with my mom or something.
Right. You
like,
wanted it to be clean and tidy.
Kind of, yeah. It's not about germs. I'm not a germaphobe. But so like that said, in the mouth, right? Easier cleanup.
Okay.
However, that's but again, you know, it's not necessarily even where, but it's just about like how it feels as I'm coming.
Okay.
That's actually more important to me.
Right.
Well,
I think some people are like the visual of like seeing their cum on a girl's face while they're coming is the you know,
that's
the zinger.
That's the thing.
And then
that's the thing. I've heard of that.
But I would assume, right? But I would also assume that like for me, like a girl orgasm is way different. But like if anything moves or changes during my orgasm, it's ruined. So I'm like, stay where you are.
Same.
So it's kind of like if I'm giving head in real life, unless he's like, let me come on your face, I'm probably going to keep it in my mouth and let him come in my mouth because that's what's making it feel like he's going to come. So why would I stop?
Right. Yeah. Same. I mean, if I give a signal,
you do like a little, do a little polite signal, like
if I give a polite signal, like I'm going to come.
Yeah.
3 hours later, no.
She's like so tired. She's just like, bro, come on.
3 Gatorades later. No, if I give the signal, then yeah, don't stop what you're doing. Same. I hear women, you know, I know that's a thing for sure. But it could be if for whatever reason in that moment, if she's jacking me off, or if she's using me out, like that's fine too. Just don't stop.
Don't stop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then there's an aspect of like, you know, as I've come, when I'm coming, as I've come, sort of after it seems like I'm finished coming, but I'm not, you know, like changing the rhythm a bit, like, you know, changing the pressure a bit, but for the most part, like leading up to climax itself, like don't stop.
And I feel like a lot of guys are really sensitive after they come.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like you look at it and they're like, ah. I'm like, all right, okay.
So I've actually met a lot of women who are the same way. Like, don't touch me, I'm going, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm opposite C's. I'm opposite. I'm like, so now we're gonna do that again, right? We're gonna. That was like.
Where's the Hitachi?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Me and we talk about the Hitachi so much on this show. I couldn't love it more. It's like a miracle worker for women, I feel like, who've ever struggled with an orgasm. You're one of the greats then. One guy that I work with who's a male performer, he's blown up. His name is Owen Gray, and his porn is all just him fucking different girls and stuff, but it's become so popular because he really has just like real sex and he really wants the girls to come, and he always shows up with the Hitachi, and I'm just like, you know exactly what you're fucking doing. He eats ass, he eats pussy, and he brings a Hitachi. I'm like, you are king. That is it. I love you.
I do know who Owen Gray is. He's great.
Yeah, I just worked with him the other day, and it was a threesome with him and Small Hands, Aaron, and they were just taking turns using the Hitachi on me, and I almost cried, which is something that happens a lot when I'm like, is this too good? I don't know what to do. But
It
like,
sounds great.
yeah, I was like, and they were like laughing, not in like a mouse, like not in a sadistic way, and just to like, they were so delighted.
you, yeah.
It was so wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how we started talking about that, but if you bring up the
that's for, like,
Hitachi,
round two.
I'll
Yeah.
sidebar completely. So here we are, back to our magic wands. Gidget and I literally talk about them in almost every episode.
I like a vibrator.
Yeah.
I like it for myself. as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, because especially with Hitachi, the vibration is really strong. So even if it's focused on the girl's clit, you're gonna feel that if you're inside her.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple-
Even like anal, I feel like the guys have told me that like when they're fucking my ass, and if I have the Hitachi on my clit, they can still feel the vibrations. Mm-hmm. So it's like
It's nice.
It's a everyone's a winner kind of game.
It's nice. I'm gonna go back many steps.
Let's rewind.
Some of the most it's infrequent, but like if I'm soft and someone is giving me head, it's actually like really, really sensitive.
Really?
Like, really sensitive.
So almost too sensitive?
I'm not too sensitive, but it's really
It's like,
sensitive.
whoa.
I find that when I'm hard, like a blowjob is great. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about the head. Uh-huh. For whatever reason, when I'm soft, like it's all more sensitive. And
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. But yeah.
I mean, there's times where like literally, like if you touch my thigh, it feels sensitive. So like I'm like, I chalk it up to
When you're
hormone
ready.
fluctuations. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like more hormonal or something. Or I think when I'm ovulating, I get like more psychotically horny. It's like you could literally like poke my thigh. And I'm like, oh my God, come inside me.
I don't think you're alone in that.
I think it's common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Just
tweeted
ready
once.
to
I was
go.
like, I feel insane. I think I'm ovulating. Someone fuck me. It was all hypothetical because I, was a little bit more choosy than just someone, but yeah.
I mean, you threw it out there on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. I was more just like, but then all the girls responding were like,
I feel the same way when I'm ovulating. I feel like a fucking werewolf. I'm like, ah.
someone fuck me. Yeah, anyway, so I know what it's like to be sensitive. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we wrap it up? Hey, also a condom joke.
Yeah. Oh, head with a condom? Pass. It's not. It's just like hard pass. Speaking to like taking a break during sex and maybe going into head, like.
Pop it
if
off.
I'm wearing a condom, pop it off. Deal with the taste of whatever that is.
Yeah.
Or not.
Which is a really unpleasant.
Yeah, unpleasant. I have taken it off, gone, washed it off, come back, gotten back into action. But again, in a break style, changing the rhythm.
Right.
Because it does not taste good.
Yeah, you could also, maybe keep baby wipes on deck, by the bed.
Yeah, but the baby
Then it's a baby wipe combo flavor.
Yeah, I have the Charmin ones, and they're pleasant smelling, but they do not taste.
Oh, see, I'm a big proponent of the scentless, just aloe ones. Yeah.
I'm gonna get those.
When I was younger, and sometimes I'll still do this, is if I think I'm gonna hook up with a guy in wherever, my house or his house, but my house, I'm gonna have the equipment that I need. Let's say I'm at his house or at a hotel or something, I will literally grab a bunch of toilet paper and run it under the water and then squeeze it out over. So I give my pussy a little shower.
Little pussy shower.
Yeah. And then I, tap it dry. But then you really gotta look in the mirror for the toilet paper that might get stuck to your wet pussy. So then you gotta pussy and asshole check it. But that also it's a great way. I mean, you just bend over and spread it. That's also the stripper thing. It's it was a stripper. I'd always bend over and spread it to, you really don't want to be up on stage with because the black lights, that one little piece of toilet paper is going to shine bright like a diamond.
What about the black lights? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just hi. So, I'm well versed in, making sure everything looks high and tight. So if you're going to do that maneuver, ladies, just scope out the scene visually.
Yeah.
And You don't have to have a hand mirror. You can just bend over.
So if there is talk of condoms and then talk of oral, talk of passing.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Like, I love oral and oral should be part of it, but also that's not, it doesn't feel like anything.
If it's not fun for anybody, let's skip it, right?
Yeah. Do some dry humping.
Let's just dry hump our way all the way through.
Panties on, dick out, dry humping.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
Or even, what about just rubbing your dick on the pussy?
Absolutely.
Just skin to skin for a while before penetration, because that's also
hot.
like, it's the hottest.
It's so hot.
It's great. Did it just get hot in here, or is it this entire conversation?
I have a partner who's got a clitoral piercing, and so like that's great. Like skin to skin, that's great for me. Great for her.
Does it feel good?
I feel it, and it's novel.
It's hot in your head.
And it's hot. And looking at it is hot.
Yeah. I've had sex with a girl with one of those too. And it's also just like a fun extra thing to do. It's like, I can play with this thing.
Yeah, play with this thing.
Great,
It makes it, like, if I'm using the Hitachi on her, like, it's difficult. She's got to sort of be in charge.
I was
of
going
that.
to say, does that make it?
I've tried.
That'd be a little scary.
I've paid really close attention.
Yeah.
Like, really placement, pressure. But even then, I'm not the owner of it. And so it's like, it's really sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fine too. Just let your partner place that Hitachi, and then like you're good.
I can get back to work.
Yeah. I did a kink scene once where they tied one to my leg and then put it on full blast, and it was just but I had to help them get there, so we had to like cut, So I was like, okay, you're not quite getting it, and I don't want to be a total faker, so let's like actually get it in the right spot. And then but once it was there, it's good to go. But I mean, even if you just go in general clit area, because the Hitachi has such a big thing, there's still certain spots that people know that they like. Yeah, you can feel it anywhere, but I'm saying even if you put it directly on my clit, if it's not in the right exact spot that I like it on my clit, it might not make me come. So I have to really
for sure
help. I don't have a piercing.
Corded or cordless?
Corded feels more intense. They're stronger. Yeah. But I like the cordless in the bedroom because it's less limiting.
Yeah.
So I have a cordless one, and I use that mostly. But if someone has a corded one, I'm stoked. Yeah. But I don't have both. I should have both. Hitachi, send me one.
I know. Sponsor.
Another sidebar is like, I was trying to do my first squirting scene, and I just like couldn't squirt. I had like a full bladder, and like it wasn't happening. And I was like almost like in panic mode, and the girl was like, I got you. And she plugs in the plug, and she's like, you have to have the plug-in one. And then she puts it there, and like it made everything work. And so I was like, all right, these are extra special, because I was trying with my cordless. Now I'm more of an experienced squirter, and I can just do it my hand. But there is something to be said for that cord one, where it really blasts you off into another dimension.
That was my first self sort of pleasuring discovery when I was very young. Was like my neighbor's vibrator.
Really? Wait, so the first time you masturbated was with a vibrator?
Pretty much. I mean, my first actual I discovered
like self-stimulation.
Yeah, for sure. And it was like those old school ones that are like this, and I'm describing basically a vibrator, but then the head was vertically, like it was perpendicular. It was a big disc, like a UFO disc slapped on top. Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah. And like, it was amazing. It was amazing. So to this day, like, I like that. Yeah. I first
masturbated with a water jet. We did a whole masturbation episode when we talked about that. So the listeners probably already know this. But then I also, first time I experienced a vibrator, air quotes, was my parents' hand massager, and it was the handle, because the handle is where it was really vibrating, because the head, it was like nutso. I'm like, I wouldn't put that on my crotch, but I felt it vibrating on my hand, and I was just like looking back and forth. I'm like, I'm just gonna put this on my oh my god, what? Yeah.
Yep. Same. Pretty much. Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I've ever heard a story of a guy masturbating for the first time with something that was vibrating.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I tried, because I didn't own that thing, and I was a child, so I couldn't get my own. Right. So I tried to make one out of Legos.
Precious angel. Oh no.
I had a Lego with a motor. So like,
oh my god.
So like I tried to make an asymmetrical mounting on the motor.
You could have just got an electrical toothbrush.
They didn't have those. Oh, man. They didn't have those.
I'm like, hello. This is amateur hour. Like, I'll build it.
I was a real fucking amateur. You know?
If I build it, I'll come. Oh, shit.
Yes.
Damn it. Fuck.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why you're the host. You know, you have a real voice for podcasting and a sense of humor.
Oh, wow. Oh, the gas.
Really
I love
got
getting
it.
gassed
Yeah.
up. It's my favorite. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Danny, for coming on the show. You've been incredible. What an open and honest guest. Thank
Super fun.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like the people out there with penises that are listening to this will feel seen and heard, because I feel like we totally left them out in our quote-unquote oral episode that was just about vagina licking.
Gosh, if it's a problem with guys these days, they just aren't seen or heard. Holy moly.
Listen, I agree with the sarcasm. However, I love men, so I want them to know how much I love sucking their dicks. Do you want me to plug anything of yours? It keeps going.
That's gotta be the easy joke.
Oh, yeah.
joke.
I set that up.
I mean, I have an Instagram. It's Mineralian.
Okay.
So it's like mineral and alien, but
Mineralian. Okay, well, we'll put it in the show notes too. So, guys, if you are interested in checking out Danny's work, I'm assuming you've got some of your gemology up on Instagram. So at Mineralian, I'll link it in the show notes, and you have some visuals and some photos of your gemology.
It's all visuals. Yeah.
We love a good visual
Yeah.
here at Slut Shame This. So, Danny, thank you. You've been incredible.
Pleasure.
And now we're going to go into DMs. I think Kendall has a good one for us this week. All right, guys. Now we are in the DM portion of our episode, and we've talked about outsourcing our DMs. So if you have any wild DMs that you want us to read on the podcast, please screenshot them, and now you can't DM them to us on Slut Shame This on Instagram at the moment because we got deleted. We're gonna work on getting that back because that was definitely wrongfully done. But you can email them to slutshamethis@gmail.com, and we'll check them out there. And today we have someone with us, a special guest who has a DM that she wants to share. So Kendall, what do you have in your DMs?
Okay, well, obviously, like as most women, we get a bunch of crazy shit all the time. But this is someone I know personally, so it's super weird that it's in and says these things. I post a lot. I'm really like vintage fetish things, and I will post it in my stories, but in no way,
You
shape,
post
or form.
vintage fetish what?
Like pictures and stuff, and I have stuff in my house that's like fetishy and whatnot.
But you're not.
But I'm not a dominatrix or anything.
Okay.
I mean, I have some things, but So yeah, it's someone I know personally, and I'm very good friends with his brother, and he's married.
Oh, good.
So this is like a reoccurring slide-in.
So he's a recurring offender.
Yeah, and I don't ever respond. And it actually turns him on a little bit that I don't respond.
Oh,
which he
Madonna
says
mia.
in
Okay.
it. So it all started when he was in Europe, drunk. So he just started writing me like crazy stuff. And then it's all of a sudden, FYI, I'm a full submissive. I'm guessing you're a dom. Haha, totally sketchy in between us, but if you need a worshiper, let me know. My goddess, I completely understand. Venmo. No one's said anything yet.
You've not said anything.
And then, I mean, like, this is all, like, in the same day. Yo, sorry, I'm full euro in Amsterdam right now. Just thought it was something we thought similarly about. And then just keeps going. Sorry, full euro. Just let me if you're looking for
What
service.
is full euro?
And then full Venmo, of course. My goddess, I'm here if you need me. And then the next day, he was obviously embarrassed. He was like, shame, shame, shame. Thanks for putting up with me. And then he wrote me again Another day, master, shame, 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 a true goddess. Then another day, master, another day, master.
Oh my God.
Another day, just a true sub, avoiding humiliation and reaching out for worship. Fuck, drunken NYC weirdo, sorry master, money sign, that is all. No disrespect, I'll gladly pay you for your time and secret discretion, master, if it's ever available. Otherwise, positivity to the max and keep kicking ass, my friend.
What?
And then this message just says Venmo.
Just a single message that says
And then he
Venmo.
really likes to write shame, shame, shame. More and more of that. Shame, shame, shame. And then this is the last communication he had with me, August 27th. And this is when he kind of told me that he likes that I don't respond. And he's like, when you're a true sub, you just want to say thank you and hello like a little bitch. And it's the only fucking one I liked because I was like, that's amazing. And he said, I truly appreciate your understanding. How the fuck am I not supposed to worship Black Dahlia? Master, please.
What?
Can I be acknowledged as a potential servant? Oh, sorry if this is annoying and weird. This is someone I've known for like almost 10 years. Yeah.
What a psycho.
So there's that. And he adds the positivity part.
Love and light.
But full
master,
Venmo.
Master, shame.
Full Venmo.
Full Venmo. I'm full Euro. I'm full Venmo.
Full Euro.
Full service Venmo
But
Euro.
like part of me is now like, well,
how Venmo
do I
is
just
Venmo.
like what if I just call you a bitch? Is that like $50? $75?
You should tell him that he owes you back pay for every fucking annoying DM he's ever sent
Yes, I
you.
should count every DM and then Venmo.
Every word.
Venmo.
He owes you $10 for every word.
I'm rich.
Shame is $30, you stupid idiot. Okay, Kendall, that was amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for coming on here and talking about dicks and sucking dick
Thank you for
with
having me. That was so fun.
All right, guys, it is now the point in time where we read your reviews. So leaving a review on iTunes for us is extremely helpful. It helps determine the success of this podcast. So please, if you are enjoying the content we are creating for you, please subscribe, like, rate, review, and the reviews are what really helps. And we love reading them. They make us super happy. So this one is from Rusty Shacklefort. Kendall. What's so funny? Oh, just the name? It's insane. Whoever you are, you're insane, and I love it. Did I say wow? Probably going to have to build a shrine to worship this podcast. Like, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that is a good
That goes along right with the theme of
the worship.
worship. You rusty Shacklefort motherfucker. Thank you for that 5-star review. We love you. And right now we don't have Instagram, so I think there's a way for other people to like help appeal that and write that it was wrongfully deleted. So I'll try to find like a link, and maybe if you guys can help.
We're coming for you, Instagram.
Get it back. Instagram, you're absolute trash, and I fucking hate you, but I want to stay relevant, so
Lord, she coming.
yeah. But in the meantime, you can find us on Twitter at slutshamethis, and then you can email us at slutshamethis@gmail.com, and you can find us on all the podcast streaming services. And let me know how you like this episode. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
You're stupid. You're a rusty Shacklefort.